That was a good showcase, but one game that I know both of us are excited for was not there.
Yes, State of Decay 3. So I think, do you think that this spells trouble for the release of State of Decay 3? Like, do you think that State of Decay 3 now may not come out in 2026?
Most likely not, now that we've seen that they're not showing it.
Unless they show it at the Xbox Game Showcase of next June and they release it like in the fall. I just, like I was telling you, dude, the thing I'm worried about with that is now we didn't get a Gears of War E-Day release date either.
That's true. We didn't get that either.
So if Gears of War E-Day releases next fall, there's no way you want State of Decay and Gears in the fall.
If they do plan on releasing like some sort of big trailer at an event, it's most likely going to be the Game Awards. Because they show off games at the Game Awards too.
Yeah.
So that's also another opportunity for them. That's February, right?
Yeah.
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 So it's probably not going to come out until maybe 2027. If it's not even in 2026, it's probably going to be 2027. Even if it's a thought.
So guys, the Xbox Game Showcase just finished up. No State of Decay 3.
Still mad about that Call of Duty trailer, to be honest.
Yeah, they show us Call of Duty at the very end, and I mean, dude, we were like Halo. Then we were like, wait, like
I thought Quantum Brink, because of how like trippy it was. Like you just hop in between different map scenarios. Like this feels like Quantum Break. But
you already know that. You already know though that Call of Duty is going to be the most futuristic we've probably. Well, I don't know if it'll be the most, but
no, I doubt they're going to add like exosuits back in. I doubt that's coming back. Maybe definitely just like new tech in general.
Yeah.
Like, but nothing like hyper movement based. Probably just like new gadgets and new tech in general. That's what I think they're gonna do.
You know what? I have to look back on it. Did it say it was day one Game Pass?
I don't know. Wasn't paying attention.
Dude,
to it.
What are the chances a Call of Duty Black Ops 7 right after Call of Duty Black Ops 6?
Yeah, that's back to back.
That's crazy, dude. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Call of Duty has such a ravenous fan base that it'll sell, but
but like
that's just
honestly, it was kind
of.
They
should have went Modern Warfare 4 or like Advanced Warfare 2. They should have done something, or like a Modern Warfare 2 remaster, Black Ops 2 remaster. That would have been cool.
No, but what I would hope for, if Call of Duty does anything that I would like to do for them to do, is two things. One, a new IP, which would be fun, or have an entire game dedicated to zombies. I think that would be cool. And also, Ghost 2.
Yes, Ghost
Where
2,
is it?
I would love to see a Ghost 2. But all right, all right, Jeff. Let's talk. Okay, let's kind of break this thing down. So first of all, let's talk about what we think might have happened here with State of Decay 3, because obviously we did not the last trailer that we got, we did not get any. I mean, we saw maybe what could be a little bit of some gameplay potentially, but no release date. We still don't have a release date for it after the Xbox Game Showcase.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about State of Decay 3?
No, because the reason why is because people are still going to like it if it comes out. The thing is also, they're not going to show us anything they're not ready to show us.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, like the people who make State of Decay, they're pretty smart when it comes to releasing content, to the point where they're not going to show us anything unless they're for sure it's ready.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna lie though, man. I'm a little bit.
If it doesn't show up at the Game Awards in February, I think then I'll be a little worried about it. But
I'm a little bit concerned about it. Because we've had so many delays already for State of Decay 3, and then on top of that, now we're not getting. We don't have a release date. Now, once again, we saw Gears of War Reloaded. We'll get to that here in a sec, which is which I mean, we better see that because it comes out in August. But anyway,
it comes out 2 months.
What I'm wondering is this going to drastically shift Xbox's schedule of releases? Because, like I'd mentioned to you, if you release Gears of War E-Day in the fall of next year, you don't want to release another Xbox title, State of Decay 3, around the same exact time. And you wouldn't want to release, I mean, you
could, because here's the thing. Those two games are very different from each other. They have different fan bases and different types of people who play it. So you probably could release them around the same time as far as E-Day. because, like I said, they're just different.
But do you think it would be smart to do that with another? I mean, look, dude, I'm telling you, whether for better or worse, whether we like it or not, Call of Duty is going to have Black Ops 7 this year. It will release another Call of Duty next year. Yeah. So in the fall. Like it'll probably be October or November. So Gears of War or State of Decay or both of them will go up against COD, which, I mean, obviously that's a losing battle, but they're different fan bases, right?
Yes.
So I think
it's all about different fan bases and basically user preference.
Yeah. I'm just really, yeah, dude, I don't know what to think about not seeing anything of State of Decay 3. I actually, yeah, it's hard. You know,
it's not concerning because I know game companies do this all the time. Like, because who knows? You know, it'd be funny if they just shadow drop it out of nowhere.
That would be insane.
That'd be funny, but also really cool. But considering like how many problems they've had already, I don't think it's gonna come out this year or next year. I'm banking on 2027
for SOD3.
Yeah, for State of Decay 3. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So unfortunately, guys, we do not have a release date yet for State of Decay 3. It wasn't even shown here. You know what else they didn't show? They didn't even show Fable.
That's true.
They didn't show Fable. They didn't show Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
They didn't show the new Mass Effect. I mean, they didn't show.
I don't think they're gonna make another Mass Effect.
No, they are.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. They had a teaser for it.
Oh, okay.
I think it was, what was it, last year or a couple years ago? But yeah, so
because I know Andromeda didn't do that good.
No, it didn't. It didn't. But
because like it was like the same problem they had with a bunch of like with the new Dragon Age, is that your previous games don't matter and they don't link up. Because that's how Dragon Age has done it before, all the way up to an Inquisition, like where your choices in the previous games matter in the next
future
game.
Yeah.
And that's how it worked for Mass Effect. That's why Mass Effect was like such a big deal, is because all three games just felt like one big long story that's all connected together.
Right. Yeah. So I guess first off, Jeff, what would you rate this showcase?
Definitely, I give it a 7 out of 10. I think a 7 is pretty fair.
I think they surprised us with certain things. Obviously, the main things that we wanted to see. I mean, we did see Gears of War Reloaded.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about Gears of War Reloaded. I mean, obviously, you and I, we started going through Ultimate Edition together.
Yeah.
And obviously, you can probably see why I'm super passionate about Gears. I love Gears, the characters, all those things. It's a fun game. It's got it's got a lot of great lore, multiple ways to connect with it, whether it's multiplayer,
especially since
co-op.
This one's gonna be cross-platform.
Cross-platform is going to be huge, 4K resolution, 120 frames per second, and that's one thing that we for sure have something to look forward to, because Gears of War Reloaded comes out August 26th of this year.
Yeah.
So that'll quench all of, like, a lot of the Gears of War fan base's thirst for Gears of War E-Day while we're waiting to get a release date on E-Day. And it'll introduce PlayStation people for the first time to Gears, which is pretty cool.
For Gears multiplayer, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for Gears multiplayer. You're ready for the BS of the century.
Yeah. So we got Jojo Play says that he was pretty bummed about the showcase. Arizenic says, yeah, no Halo, no State of Decay 3, no Fable, no Mass Effect, no Gears of War E-Day. You know, some of those, though, look, some of these I think were...
I think this present was more of just focusing on
a lot of the
what's new and coming out. More
like like this year kind of thing.
Like more of like either this year or early next year. Just more focusing on that. I still think we're gonna get a lot more interesting games coming out. Probably not really coming out towards the end of the year, because who knows what anybody's cooking. You never know when a shadow drop of a game might just drop.
But I will tell you, dude, they did show some. I mean,
they showed some bangers.
They showed some good shit, but then they showed some bad, weird shit. Yeah. They got, and then some of the names of some of these games
they're weird.
Some of them are weird. Now, guys, that makes no bearing on
if the game's gonna be good or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the games that I saw that I'm actually probably going to be the most excited for is Grounded 2. Because I did enjoy like the core gameplay of Grounded. It's just arachnophobia be a bitch. And definitely that Clockwork game. That looks probably going to be... That's going to probably take up a lot of my time. I'll be honest. It looks like a lot of fun, and just like it looks very unique, and it looks like a game that I've been looking for a while. It's just a single player gun game, kind of like how BioShock does it. Just a narrative game that has guns in it.
Yeah.
And not to mention the customization of like Fallout 4. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Just like the customization of weapons and stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think there were definitely some games that I was excited about.
Oh,
I mean, I would have liked, what was it?
I was just gonna say, I forgot about the Invincible game for a second.
Right.
That's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, that looks good. Clockwork was the winner for me. JoJo said, yeah, I mean, Clockwork seems really interesting. Clockwork Revolution, that looks kind of like a mixture of like some BioShock, it's got kind of like it's got like somewhat of a combination of a number of different games, but that's going to be a game to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah,
in terms of, one of the things they really didn't show much of at all, Jeff, which I was expecting to see a little bit more of, not many horror games.
Yeah,
we got Chronos, but we knew about that, and they announced Chronos, the New Dawn, for a fall 2025 release date. So that comes out this year. Once again, guys, everyone who's in the chat right now, what Jeff was saying a little bit earlier, I think is true with this showcase. They're showing a lot of the shit that's happening this year.
Yes, this
they're
year.
not really.
They're next year.
I don't think they're really looking at. They should, because it's a great opportunity to show off games, like to build hype for next year.
Yeah.
But they're really showing off these games for this year. Yeah. Now, the question is, though, was Clockwork Revolution coming out this year? I don't even remember the release date.
They didn't announce it. It said to be announced.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe because some of the world premieres, they wanted to show. Yeah. It seems like what they wanted to do, guys, with this showcase was announce the new games that are in development.
Yes.
And we might not hear about Clockwork Revolution for another 3 years from now.
I'm banking on Clockwork coming out mid next year.
Oh, really?
That's my.
I'm wondering. I was thinking like maybe it could be like 2 years out.
Well, no, I don't say that. Mainly because of how good that trailer was. They showed off a lot in that trailer, a lot of gameplay mechanics. Hell, I mean, they literally showed off you actually having dialogue options with the character.
Yeah.
So they already got a decent chunk of it
already done.
Already done. So that's
agree.
why I'm banking of next year, mid next year. It's definitely not coming out this year unless it does by surprise. Because like I said, that trailer looked pretty much almost done.
Yeah.
There were a couple of graphical problems, but that could be fixed. That's fixable. But like the customization of the weapons, it looked pretty much well done. The combat looked pretty good. Like it's not like it wasn't like janky or anything. It looked smooth. It looked like how it would in game.
Yeah.
So that's my prediction. Mid next year for that game.
Yeah. Juice says that it was disappointing not to see State of Decay 3. I agree, man. Look, I mean, we're both Jeff and we are very excited to see more. I don't even think it's necessarily more of what State of Decay 3 is going to be. Of course, we want to see gameplay or true gameplay. But I think that we want to just see when is it coming out, you know?
Give us a date. Don't show us anything else. If you guys can just give us a date, then people would be happy.
We would be really rallying around that. And the same thing with Gears of War E-Day. I think the Gears of War fan base wants to see I know we want to see just give us a release date or like a release window of when we can expect it, because and honestly, guys, this is where I'm actually getting pretty concerned about Fable.
Yeah,
I'm starting to get concerned about Fable.
When was the last Fable game?
Well, I mean, Fable was. I mean, that was what 2013 or something.
Was
that
360 era?
This Fable, guys, and we've gotten a couple of trailers for the new Fable, but bro, it's I mean, we have not heard much of what's going on. I think that we've talked about this all the time, guys. State of Decay 3 has had there's been levels of development hell with State of Decay 3. Mm-hmm. They've had to bring on the Coalition. They've had to bring on Obsidian to help out with different elements, which is not, I mean, you could look at it like, oh, that's good because the Coalition's awesome and Obsidian's awesome. But it's like, if you can't handle that shit in-house, when you have Obsidian working on The Outer Worlds 2, Grounded 2. I mean, they got their own stuff that they're doing. So that's not really a good sign. And then on top of that, you have the Coalition helping with State of Decay 3 when these guys are doing Reloaded and E-Day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just I'm concerned about State of Decay 3, but I'm very concerned about Fable right now.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about Fable. I'm not a big Fable fan, but I know a lot of people who are, and I've watched some gameplay of it. It looks funny as all hell. But here's the thing: what I'll say about State of Decay 3. There is one other game that I know that went through the same amount of developer hell that it's going through right now, and it was Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2 kept switching hands so many times, kept asking for help so many times, and it came out. And I will say this, Dead Island probably has the best looking zombies that I've ever seen in any video game.
So basically trust the process.
Trust the process is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because if people like it, like if it's mainly about if people like it. Because that was the one thing that kept Dead Island alive for so long, is because people actually generally loved playing the game.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think we definitely, I mean, there's reason to be concerned for State of Decay 3 for sure, as well as like Fable.
Yes. I'm more worried about Fable than I am State of Decay 3.
Right.
Because the reason why I say is because like
it's just been radio silent for a number of Xbox game showcases now, and I mean it's just time's going and we're not hearing
we're not
much.
Hearing anything.
Yeah. But
the reason why I'm more concerned about Fable than State of Decay 3 is because State of Decay 2 came out 2018, around that area.
What, State of Decay 2?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Actually, I'll look it up.
I believe it's around that area of like 2018, 2019, 2017, around that area.
Yeah.
But that's the reason, is because they had a game that came out recently and people overall enjoyed it and they played it a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more. What's
2018?
Yeah. Oh wow, spot on. But yeah, so it's still relatively fresh in people's minds of State of Decay 2, because even when State of Decay 1 first came out, like there was people who played it and it wasn't really well known because you had other zombie-like games out at the time, like Dead Island, for example, Left 4 Dead, stuff. We get more zombie games that just kind of like I would probably say overshadowed State of Decay 1. But when State of Decay 2 came out, it really put itself in its own unique situation where like, hey, we're different and we're good. Which is why I think State of Decay 2 did so much better than State of Decay 1. Not to mention the replayability of State of Decay 2.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's amazing.
I'll have to watch that part back where or monologue or whatever, where Phil Spencer was talking, and before he said that we had one more announcement, he had mentioned we're bringing you guys great games. Like he brought up Fable, he brought up Gears of War E-Day, but we didn't hear anything on State of Decay 3.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, like, guys, look, you got to take certain things with a pinch of salt. You know, I mean, we can definitely look into it. And what we know right now is we don't have a release date for State of Decay 3. We don't have a release date for Fable or for Gears of War E-Day. So I agree, where I think there comes a point where we have to trust the process.
Yeah. I do believe E-Day might come out next year, 2026.
What?
I think E-Day will probably come out 2026.
I do too. I agree. Yeah, because I think with Gears of War Reloaded, they're going to build this hype with Gears of War Reloaded. We got the
E-Day trailer,
that was last Xbox Game Showcase.
Wasn't that, hold on, wasn't it the Game Awards?
No, it was the last showcase, which was like the end of, because they have like 2 showcases a year.
Oh, okay.
One's like in the fall, typically. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that makes more sense. Well, then, if that's the case, we still have another chance to get another game showcase at fall.
Correct. Yeah. So maybe they will. I'm pretty sure. I don't quote me on this, guys, but I'm relatively certain that the one that they do in the summer like this is their biggest one.
Yes, I think what they do, at least for this one, and what I hope they do for the fall one that's coming up, is for this one they showed off new titles, new stuff, stuff that we have not seen. And I think with the next one that comes out in fall, I think they're going to focus more on more like stuff like what people have been looking for a while, instead of just new stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, on
Hey, don't
top
get
of
me wrong, new stuff is cool and all, but there's certain franchises that we want to see.
yeah, and really the studios, or not even the studios, just the publishers, that being like Xbox, they should really be wanting to highlight those big heavy hitters because I mean, I get it. Like you show COD, and my God, bro, I let's not go into COD. I mean, guys, I've loved Call of Duty my whole life. I love COD, but that trailer might have been
the weirdest,
the weirdest and worst. I don't know where they're like, guys.
Who knows what they're doing with it?
It looked. We were saying, was it Halo? Is it Mass Effect? Is it like, bro?
It's just it looks so weird.
I don't know, dude. It did not feel like COD at all. Now I don't know. We'll have to like. It's just a reveal trailer, so that's that. Let's talk about this, Jeff. You know, we've got guys. We got like 15 people in here. Awesome. Like I really appreciate you guys coming into the live stream. Let's talk like going back now. I mean, obviously we'll wrap this up with like the overview of the Xbox Game Showcase, but I want to bring up the Summer Games Fest.
Yes.
Okay. I want to talk about a couple because we're coming to you guys from Zero Dark Horror Theory. Super excited to talk about the Summer Games Fest and a couple of things. The big one, one thing that we can really look forward to right here, right now, Jeff, Resident Evil Requiem.
Yes.
So listen, guys, we didn't get State of Decay 3,
no,
but Resident Evil Requiem, not only did we get the reveal, Jeff, but we got the release date, February. I think it's February 27th.
February. That's nuts.
Let's go, bro. Like, so I'm super excited about Resident Evil Requiem.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to while we're kind of waiting for, State of Decay 3, Gears, a lot of these other games that, are probably going to be coming out later in 2026. Because let me ask you this, Jeff. If they were going to, do you think that they would announce a release date in the fall showcase for the fall Xbox showcase for a February or March release date for State of Decay 3? Do you think they would do that? That's so close.
I don't think they would.
I don't think they would either.
They wouldn't do February or March. They would probably do like somewhere in April if they announce it at all. To be honest, if they announce it at all, I don't think it's gonna be February because people are gonna be playing,
Resident Evil.
So it's probably if they do release it,
it can't be May unless GTA moves.
Yeah. That's also
you don't want to be after you don't want to be right after GTA.
Well, no, you wouldn't mind being after GTA. Main reason why is because they don't have the multiplayer coming out until like a couple months after the first game's launch. So you probably could release it after the month of GTA 6.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad idea either.
Yeah.
Because there's always gonna be those people who play GTA and just bullet through the story immediately. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to have it like right after May.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Jojo says
want to avoid the entire month of May though. You want to avoid that.
Yeah, you want yeah. I mean, and you really don't even want to like come out even probably April. Because everyone's just like saving their money for GTA 6. Jojo says, love watching you guys. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
Reunia, seeing Resident Evil 9 as well as the Capcom sale made me buy all the Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
I love, hey, bro. Guys, that's what we have to, right now, that's what we have to look forward to. We have to look forward to Resident Evil 9 Requiem because that comes out in February.
Yeah. And now's the best time to play any of the old Resident Evil games because they have like that big ass sale because it's
massive sale. Dude, Capcom is crushing another game that Jeff loves. Monster Hunter, massive Monster Hunter fan. They're cooking right now, dude. Period.
Yeah,
and Requiem.
I'm excited for Title Update 2. I'm very excited for that. I don't know when it's going to be though.
Well, let's talk. Okay, so do you think from watching the Requiem trailer? Because that's kind of the next thing that we really have to look forward to here. Yeah. I mean, there's other games coming out, Jeff, obviously, but I'm saying like Resident Evil Requiem, to me, I'm like, bro, this is going to be killer.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be more Biohazard, more Village, or it kind of to me looked like a combination of both? And I was reading about, they're saying that I believe Ethan is the main character that you play as.
Not in this one. You don't play
That I think you do. I think you. Well, I don't know if it's Ethan or because the girl. Everyone thought it was the girl. I forget who the girl is.
Yeah.
But anyways,
She's
what did
been
you
in
think?
previous Resident Evils too.
Right. Yeah. I don't know all the lore of where they're because we're going back to Raccoon City.
Yes, after a nuke hit it.
After a nuke hit it. Yeah.
So here's where we stand now, as far as this is what knowledge I've gathered recently is the girl in the trailer. She is the daughter of a reporter who was one of the major people who helped expose Umbrella for, creating all that. Just nothing crazy like a little virus or whatever that murdered millions and started experimenting on people in Africa and all that other type of shit. Basically a bunch of bad shit she exposed Umbrella Corp for doing. All the bad shit. So, and the mother was murdered in a hotel where the daughter's going to investigate, and she finds something. We don't know what that something is. But if it includes Ethan at all, I will be very surprised because in the end, how long's Village been out?
Village has been out for, I think, 6 years, isn't it?
No, definitely shorter than that, but at least a year. Anyway,
Let
spoiler warning. At the end of Village, Ethan dies. So how is he back? Who knows?
2021.
Yeah, so it's been a couple of years. Still, spoiler warning. Yeah, so who knows? If Ethan comes back, I will be dumbfounded on this man's durability. And even when me and my friend were playing through the game, he even said, like, man, Ethan's been put through the frickin' ringer. The guy just keeps getting back up. And then at the very end of the game, it explains why he's so durable. Because he's made of freaking mold.
Well, it looks like you get like flashbacks of the girl in it, like as a young girl.
Yes.
Like there's certain so it's going to be really interesting to see kind of, obviously we have Raccoon City.
Yes.
That's going to be really fascinating.
That's going to be interesting. I'm also curious if there's going to be any returning characters. Because we got Chris in Village and Biohazard. I would like to see more. The main one that I would love to see is Honk. I just love him.
Yeah.
Such a badass character. Leon also wouldn't be a bad character to come back. Jill still wouldn't be a bad character to come back. There's a couple characters I would love to see more of.
There's definitely, you can see like there's going to be an emphasis on horror in this.
Yes,
but
definitely.
The question is I feel like
I get a feeling it's going to scratch the same itch.
Yeah.
That people who play Outlast like.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. Do you think it'll be more like Village? I think it'll be more like Village than Biohazard.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna be like any of those two games. I'm gonna be honest.
Really?
Yes. I think it's gonna be a whole new thing, but with mixed in functionalities of the older games.
So like what? Like puzzles and everything else, or what?
Yes, that's what I think it's gonna be of.
No, I think I'm excited for it. I mean, no doubt. That is easily
I will be dumbfounded if we still play as Ethan. I will be completely surprised.
Yeah, I was reading about it. Let's see here. So, okay, Meta Cavell, no State of Decay 3. Yeah, dude, I know. Yeah, everybody in here is talking about State of Decay 3. I'm with you. Look, guys, it's really disappointing.
But we still have the chance for the fall one.
Yeah, if they come out with a fall showcase, very well might get an announcement for it there. I think I mean, look, at the end of the day, Undead Labs said they pushed the 2025 release date for State of Decay 3 to 2026. Now, I mean, obviously, this has been delayed a number of times at this point. It's hard to say, guys. I mean, it's really hard to say. I'm still going to believe that it comes out next year, but if it doesn't, I don't know. I mean, they're having issues over there.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they're having issues. So We're going to keep you guys all up to speed as more information comes out, though, about State of Decay 3. I can, you guys can check out the YouTube channel. We'll be covering everything that we hear from State of Decay 3, as well as other, horror games. Resident Evil Requiem. We're going to be talking about Resident Evil Requiem. We saw Chronos: The New Dawn. That looks like a pretty interesting title.
Yeah. Game that I'm probably most excited for that comes out in a couple months is Dying Light: The Beast.
Dying Light is going to be awesome.
I am so excited for that game.
Did you see the Summer Games Fest? Yeah. I meant the Dying Light. Oh, I meant the Dying Light: The Beast portion. Yeah. Oh, dude.
It looks like so much fun. I cannot wait to play it.
Yeah. I think it looks. Did they give us a release date?
Yep. 2 months.
2 months. Perfect.
2 months. Which blew me for a loop.
Yeah. Oh, dude. It looks so good.
I was expecting like the end of the year. No. 2 months.
Let me see if I can find this really quick.
Is Reloaded too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's
like the 2 games that you and me are probably gonna be playing. Is Dying Light.
Dying Light, yeah. Is Dying Light gonna have co-op? You think?
Yes.
Perfect.
They've always had co-op.
I know. I just didn't.
Dying Light and Dying Light 2. They've always had co-op.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. Okay.
I'm curious what the time frame is going to take place.
For Dying Light?
Yeah, for Dying Light: The Beast. I'm curious if it's going to like take place in between 1 and 2, or is it going to play after 2? It's definitely playing after the first one because it's showing a world that's just been overgrown by nature.
Yeah.
So my guess is it's probably going to take place somewhere if it's either after 2 or before 2. Then again, 2 takes place in France, so it could take place at the same time, just in a different area.
Yeah. So here's what's interesting, bro. So, guys, I'm just gonna read a quick snippet from Screen Rant about Resident Evil Requiem. So, all the information for Resident Evil Requiem comes from the reveal trailer, which introduces players to some things new and some things old for the series. First and foremost, Resident Evil 9 may have revealed its new protagonist, FBI technical analyst Grace Ashcroft, the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft. Alyssa, an investigative journalist, was one of 8 playable characters in 2004's Resident Evil Outbreak, which I did not play Outbreak, which seems to confirm she survived Raccoon City, but later met her at the end of Renwood Hotel. I mean, it could be Grace for sure. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Do you think that they're going to have one main playable character, or do you think that they could? Because Jeff Keighley said, guys, at the Summer Games Fest, he said that Resident Evil 9 is a bold shift for the franchise, both in tone and gameplay.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing also, like I'm just going to point out to Resident Evil 2 and 3 that you could just play through the game as a different character. Like, you get to play as, Leon and Jill, I forget her name, whoever's Chris's little sister, I forget her name. But yeah, you get to play as one or the other of them, and you basically just go through the story as one of those characters. So they could probably do that, or they could probably just go back-to-back characters.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That'd be cool.
No, I'm excited to...
Because I know in RE3, you get to play as Jill and Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be cool to see.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've got Resident Evil 9 to look forward to. The other one that was interesting, Jeff, I mean, obviously Dying Light: The Beast looks great.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer for... they've had a couple of trailers at this point, but at Summer Games Fest, they showed off Ill.
Yes,
that looks wild.
Freaky and trippy, and I like it for that.
Yeah, it definitely that looks wild.
Yeah,
I'm not as excited about that as I am obviously for Resident Evil Requiem.
No. But I'll need to see some more gameplay of it to make an accurate description of it. But so far, it looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I guess that's what these trailers are designed to do, is just to capture your interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Other than that, though, guys, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think the showcase was fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, the main things that we were looking for, we got Gears of War Reloaded.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get a beta, because I definitely don't want the game to release and they've got a lot of bugs and issues at launch. But At least we got that, and it looks great. They showed off a number of like new IPs, new games that some of them look really interesting. No State of Decay 3, definitely bummed about that.
Yeah, definitely about that one.
And obviously not seeing a release date for Gears of War E-Day.
Yeah, that's also surprised me. But I guess they want to release Reloaded first and then E-Day.
Just focus on that. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it would have been a really good idea if they would have announced, like at the end of the Reloaded trailer, like they showed a snippet at the end of like E-Day, like even if it was just a quick cinematic, and then Gears of War E-Day release date, fall of 2025
is Reloaded
or 2026.
Just the first game, or is it all three of them?
No, it's just the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, let us know what you guys think about what you thought about the Xbox Game Showcase. What you guys thought about Summer Games Fest. I'm really interested to hear from all of you guys in the comment section down below. We're going to be coming to you guys more with this was fun doing a live stream like this. We definitely want to do more live streams like this. So let us know what you guys think, ways that we can improve and stuff. Jeff, you got any last things that you want to say about the showcase? What you thought?
Well, yeah. I'm trying to phrase this right. It showed off a lot of good things and also a lot of bad things. Call of Duty. I'm gonna throw shade at Call of Duty for at the end of time. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, it definitely showed some interesting things, new things that I was not expecting. I didn't expect there to be a Grounded 2. I didn't expect there to be some weird Clockwork game that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. I
didn't expect a gacha game, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. There's a couple games I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. How can people find you, bro?
You can find me on Twitch at jthek0518. That is jthek0518. I'm going to be streaming definitely Dying Light the Beast when it comes out. And when Springtrap comes out on DVD, I'm definitely going to be streaming that too.
And guys, we're going to have a ton of content, coming
I might be
to...
streaming I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I'm probably going to be streaming later today for Elden Ring Night Rain, just to keep playing that game because it's dumb fun. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to be bringing you a ton of content on Horror Theory, my personal channel, We're Animal. We've got a lot of content that we're working on. But specifically on Horror Theory, we're talking about, State of Decay 3, obviously, any horror games that really interest us, we're playing or, dissecting from lore to story to multiplayer, whatever it is. And so we're going to be bringing you guys a lot of content on the channels, and I appreciate each and every one of you for joining us.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, make sure that you guys leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, just keep grinding. And as always, I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace out, dudes.
Later, gamers.